Happy Wednesday, happy game day. Tennessee versus Auburn, 4 versus 11 tonight, 7 o'clock ESPN2. My name is Frank Rock. This is the House of Orange Sports Channel coming at you. My video today I'm bringing, leading up to tonight, this is Tennessee Auburn. This is what I feel is Tennessee's keys to victory tonight. It's a big game. It's a big game. I talked about it in my preview yesterday, how I feel it's must win for Tennessee due to the remaining schedules. That puts Tennessee, that would put them 2 games ahead of Auburn in the loss column, but really you factored in 3 if you go head to head at that point. That essentially puts Auburn almost out of the race at that point. Unless Tennessee, even if Tennessee were to lose the next 3, there's a possibility that would put them behind it because I think Auburn wins out after this game. And again, that's why I say it's must win for Tennessee, just because Auburn's remaining schedule, Mississippi State, Missouri, Georgia, 3 very winnable games for them as well. And I didn't realize that when I recorded my preview yesterday that Auburn had to shuffle around a little bit this weekend. So I just went by the stats, and because I don't keep up with it. Like, I keep up with Tennessee. The rest of it, I keep up with who wins, but I don't keep up with them just religiously like I do Tennessee. But talked about in the preview, I mentioned Broome and I mentioned Jalen Williams. Williams is out due to injury. He was Auburn's second leading scorer on the year. And even on the game notes on utsports.com, he's not even listed. So they're probable starters. Aiden Holloway, Denver Jones, Chad Baker, Mazzara. He was inserted into the lineup this past Saturday, into the starting lineup in place of Williams, and he responded with 25 points, career high for him against Georgia. So, and Bruce Pearl, made the comment in it, says he was the best player on the floor, and he said nobody was terribly surprised by that. So, Auburn is shaking things up a little bit by doing that. So how does that change the outlook going into this game? The one I have circled for Auburn, of course, is Broome. That's the guy that, to me, when I look at Auburn statistics on the year, Johnny Broome, so 6'10", 240, 16.1 points, 8.6 rebounds per game, 2.4 blocks per game. That's the main guy that stood out to me. There was Williams. He's not in. But now how does this Baker Mazzara? 6'7", 180, averaging right at 10 points per game. So how does Tennessee adjust to this? They've seen it now. It's not going to be a surprise this weekend after what Auburn did against Georgia over the weekend. So they've got time to prepare. And if there's anybody that can prepare defensively, it is Rick Barnes. So I like that. I talked in my preview as well about, I compared the stats for these two teams. You go down the line, man, these teams are almost identical. They're within 1 to 2 percentage points, pretty much within a percentage point of each other, or a whole when it comes to blocks and assists. They're within 1 of each other. They're very close down the line. What I'm looking for to be the big difference is Thompson-Boling Arena. Home court advantage. Tennessee doesn't lose there very often. They lost, of course, to South Carolina this year. I don't anticipate them losing tomorrow night. I did make a prediction earlier on. I honestly kind of forgot to make a prediction, but I think 4-0 over the last 4 is possible. Is possibility of losing games possible? Yeah, absolutely. You're at Auburn. You've got a good Auburn team tomorrow night. According to Ken Palm has Auburn ranked ahead of Tennessee at 5th, Tennessee 6th. Of course, in the polls, Tennessee 4th, Auburn 11th. But at Alabama Saturday night on the road, it's going to be a tough game. At South Carolina midweek next week, Kentucky at home next week. This is a gauntlet. It's a tough schedule. I love it. I love it because from this point forward, there's no taking nights off. You don't have Vanderbilt, Missouri, any of these at home on the schedule. You've got 4 of the best teams, including Tennessee. You've got the best 5 teams in the conference playing over the next 2 weeks right here. You get into the SEC tournament. Tennessee goes 3-1. If I'm Tennessee, I want to win tomorrow night, and I want to beat Alabama for sure. I think if you win those 2, there's a real good possibility you win the conference, regardless of what happens next week. But South Carolina's going to be tough on the road. Kentucky, It's Kentucky, man. You never can take it lightly. You never can. Even though I think I like Tennessee's chances to sweep Kentucky on the season, just due to style of play. Kentucky's not good defensively. Tennessee's good offensively. But, the game in hand here, Auburn's good defensively. Auburn can score about the same as Tennessee. So my X factors, what I think Tennessee does, needs to do basically to win that game, and what I like with them is Dalton Connect needs to be Dalton Connect. That's the main thing I'm looking at. Dalton Connect does Dalton Connect things, and I like that. But win the boards. These teams are set. Tennessee actually, according to the stats, out rebounds Auburn by it's around a rebound per game. Maybe not even quite a full rebound per game. Jonas Adu needs to show up tomorrow night and be the Jonas Adu who's focused and on a mission. Tobe Awaka has got to come in, do his thing, because they've got a big guy who's good in Broome, who can give them trouble. In the games Tennessee's lost this year, these are the type players who've given them trouble. You've got to, if Broome does his thing to it, it's got to be an ineffective night for him. I don't think you're going to shut him down, but it's got to be one of those ineffective. It's got to be one of those where Adu and Awaka answer the call tomorrow night. They have to do their thing. Dalton Connect has to do Dalton Connect things. We need him scoring up in the 20s tomorrow night. Unless it's Kentucky where Auburn keys on him and you got other guys that step up. That's really happened one, maybe two games this year. I think we need Dalton Connect. A lot of people say that's the difference in this team for Rick Barnes is Connect. Well, we need to see it tomorrow night. This is going to be a tournament-like team that you're going to have to beat when you get to it. So we need to see Connect do his thing against a really good defensive team tomorrow night. I'm curious to see how he responds on that. I really am. And, looking as well, Zakai Ziegler. I think Tennessee has the matchup point guard wise was Zakai Ziegler. Now, Auburn's running Holloway out, who's a freshman. If Zakai Ziegler wants to be recognized as one of the top point guards in this conference, which he is, but to consistently get that recognition, he's going to have to show out tomorrow night. Tennessee needs him to win his battle tomorrow night with Auburn's guards. I think that's an advantage Tennessee has. Not saying Auburn's guards are bad by any means. You look at their statistics, there's nothing dominating about them. They're solid. Zakai Ziegler's got to win that matchup and do his thing tomorrow night. He really does. The fourth thing I've got is my fifth-year seniors. If I'm Rick Barnes, I need my fifth-year seniors to play like fifth-year seniors tomorrow night. You need Vescovy to hit his shots when he gets a chance. You need James to kind of do that little bit of everything tomorrow night. Hit his shots when he's given a chance. Play defense. I mean, he's probably more than likely going to be matched up on Baker Mazzara some. He's got to – James can be an excellent defender. He's got to do his job tomorrow night. Meshack, when he comes in, has got to do his job. But we need those two fifth-year guys to play like they played a lot of basketball in Knoxville. They've got to do their thing tomorrow night. Tennessee needs that because, again, this is an evenly matched game coming tomorrow night. These things, it's got to go right. I don't think you can come in and play a subpar game and win tomorrow night. I don't think you'll get a game where both teams will be subpar either. And then the last thing we'll look at on this, can't allow Auburn to come in and go crazy with threes. Auburn and Tennessee are both. Tennessee actually shoots a little bit higher percentage than Auburn from three-point, but again, it's within like a percentage point of it. I think you got to keep Auburn at 30% or less tomorrow night from three-point range. You can't. That's kind of been another thing with Tennessee at times. For some reason, they're allowing some of these teams to shoot really good from three-point range. They can win games still with that, but I feel that's something Auburn's got a couple things going for them that are similar to Tennessee. You got to take something away, and I like them to take that three-point shot away tomorrow night. If you can, this is asking a lot. You've got to do a lot of things tomorrow night. And they're not probably all not going to happen, to be realistic about it. But the main things I really look for is rebounding, win the rebounding battles. Your other guys, Adu and Awaka can't do it alone. Your Josiah Jordan James, Dalton Connect. These guys are going to have to rebound on it. Outside of Tennessee, Auburn's couple big guys. I think Tennessee has some matches up well height-wise with them. Um, but it's a big game. It's a big game. Again, I say if you want to win the SEC regular season, I think this is must win for Tennessee tomorrow night. For Auburn to have a chance, you know, it's I think it's must win for them as well. I would say to an extent. Well, the problem with Auburn, it puts them again 2 games behind Tennessee in the loss column. Plus, Tennessee has another game in tow if they win the head-to-head tomorrow night. So, big game in the SEC. It's a big week. Uh, Tennessee, Alabama, Saturday night. I love it. I love this stretch that's ending the season just because we're going to find out what this team's got. We already know what Tennessee's got, but we're going to see what they're playing like getting into the SEC tournament, which, meh, could care less what they do in that. But getting into the NCAA tournament, going to have to bring it every night because we found it out last year. They didn't bring it against FAU and they got sent to the house. And it's still, frankly, a team. FAU, you got to give them credit for what they did last year. I still think Tennessee was a better team than them. And, a lot of these same guys are back. Do it. What are these guys going to do in that NCAA tournament? Is Dalton Connect that difference that could take them further this year than they have gone under Rick Barnes? It's a lot to, talk about, look at. And I'll have more videos later in the week talking about Tennessee basketball. I'm curious to see how it goes tomorrow night. And, just to wrap up here, I am going live tomorrow night. Actually, it's tonight. I'm recording this on Tuesday night. So, this is and releasing it on Wednesday morning today. So tonight after the game, I will be going live on that. I hope you'll join me. I hope you'll share it out to others to join as well. But, make sure you like this, share it, subscribe if you're a baseball guy. Dropped, as you're seeing this now, last night, the Tennessee versus High Point recap. A lot of big stuff coming up with that as well. But my name's Frank Rock. This is the House of Orange Sports Channel. Thank you for tuning in with me. And as always, go Vols.